All right, we are live. Come on in, folks. Major police press conference coming up here in just a few minutes. We're talking about the crazy shooting that happened overnight, Southport, North Carolina, folks. This is the scene right by Fishy Fish. This is the area where this terrible shooting happened last night. Suspect has been identified, 40-year-old Nigel Edge. Nigel Edge is the one that did this crime. We talked about him last night, but we didn't put his actual name out there. We said initials, and we were talking about this guy's back history. Multiple people shot, 3 fatalities. Don't know how many total are shot, but I think we're going to get that clear understanding here. Media reports as of this morning are saying several shot. Nigel Edge, taken into custody, former Marine, wounded in combat or an ambush attack himself in 2006 while he served in Iraq. Suffered a brain injury, shot in the brain, lived. Walks with a cane, has a spotted dog. Apparently went up to this American Fishing Company place, dock, people out there enjoying their Saturday night, eating, congregating, enjoying the water. And this lunatic here pulls up in a boat, scopes out the area, and then just opens fire on the crowd of people eating. Takes off, goes along the intercoastal waterway back to his home, apparently, or was attempting to get to his home. Unclear if he made it there. Oak Island. We're in Brunswick County, North Carolina. He's former military. What's even more crazy is he wrote a book called Headshot, which is really scary. As we discussed last night, a little bit without actually saying his name, this guy's involved with lots of litigation, claims a bunch of conspiracies are against him, sued everyone that you can possibly imagine in the law enforcement aspect. Back in 2012, he was a guest with Kelly Pickler at the Country Music Awards. She was married at the time, but she took him on a date to the Country Music Awards because of his injury, because he served in the military. Don't believe she was in like an actual relationship with them. She was just doing a good thing, helping this individual who at the time his name was Sean DeBevoise. Here it is, the Fishy Fish Cafe in the background there, American Fishing Company. Now we're going to get a press conference here coming up very, very shortly by authorities providing some insight. And then we're going to talk about this guy. We're going to talk about the guy. So I have this as the backdrop for now until we get, the official press conference up. Who is this guy? Who is this guy right here? Served, Marine, suffered numerous injuries in an ambush attack himself. The irony here is, folks, that he was ambushed himself while in Iraq in 2006. And the irony of this whole situation is he ambushed a bunch of innocent people. He wrote a book called Headshot. Crazy. Nigel Max Edge. So we're going to get a press conference update soon, and we'll try to get the extent of exactly what in the heck is going on and see. Thoughts? Nigel Edge, This is the intercoastal waterway. This is right there. It's called the Basin. The Basin area, just south of Wilmington, North Carolina. Now, that's his booking photo. What they're saying previously was 3 people dead and 8 others injured. Now, I believe the 3 is accurate. Don't know about how many actually were injured. According to the city of Southport, 3 people were killed when someone opened fire on patrons at the waterfront bar. This guy was on a boat, apparently with his dog with him. Southport Yacht Basin, around 9:30 p.m. There's also the police also spoke real briefly last night at the crime scene after we ended last night. They sent, the city of Southport sent an alert 2 a.m. saying 8 people were injured. So I think that number is probably about 8. But we shall see. We shall get an update on Nigel. Nigel Ed.
Got calls to our 911 center about shots fired at the establishment, that people were taking fire. As officers arrived and were on the way, we got multiple reports of an active shooter, possibly coming from a boat that was out in the intercoastal waterway. We have multiple agencies that have responded to assist Southport tonight, to include Oak Island, Boiling Spring Lake, Shallotte, the North Carolina SBI is here, ATF is with us, the district attorney is here on site with us. Multiple partners are here across the county and the state, so we're certainly appreciative of that. Unfortunately, we do have 3 deceased at the establishment that we are dealing with right now, working the crime scene, and we have possibly 6 that are injured at local hospitals that are receiving treatment. We don't have the names and will not be releasing any names right now due to notifications that need to be made to those families. We just ask that you keep those that have been affected by this in your prayers and your thoughts. Our community tonight, I want to say that I'm comfortable to say that there is no, we don't feel like there's any additional threats to the community right now. We're working with neighboring Oak Island with a possible suspect, but we'll have more information on that at a later time.
All right, so that was the...
Thank you for joining us here on KENS 5 this Sunday morning. I'm Vanessa Croy. We want to get straight to our top story this morning. Tragedy overnight in Maverick County, and it's developing right now out of Eagle Pass. 2 people are dead and several others hurt after a gunman opens fire in the parking lot of a popular casino. The Maverick County judge, Ramsey English Cantu, says the shooting took place sometime after midnight at the Kickapoo Lucky Eagle Casino.
All right, so that was another story that we covered early this morning, another mass shooting. I just wanted to put that out there for a second. Eagle Pass. We'll talk about that after this. So this individual is a former Marine, and over the course of 1 year, the guy has filed at least 10 separate lawsuits against government entities, local officials, and people. And I believe at one of the lawsuits, he filed against Kelly Pickler, the person, the individual singer who took him on a date back in 2012. It's crazy. So it just seems like he thinks a vast conspiracy is against him. Things are implanted in his brain, he claims. He's claimed all types of crazy stuff. And we'll talk about that once the press conference is done. Former Marine. Crazy. So the press conference has not started yet. So in the meantime, we're kind of just filling you in on what's going on. I mean, we could hold it at the, we could play the, show you the scene of the press conference, but there's nothing going on there yet. So in the meantime, I wanted to share the live footage from this, coastal community, a very small town of 4,500. All right, stand by. We are going to put this up in just a second here. They have begun. They have begun.
I'm the police chief of the city of Southport. First, this morning, prayers with the families and the victims of this tragedy that we've had that occurred early this morning. So our thoughts and prayers remain with them and everybody that's been affected, our community, and those that were at the establishment when this unfolded. I want to also thank the outpouring of support that we received from all of our law enforcement partners and community partners from across the state, for that matter. Behind me, you'll have remarks briefly from Sheriff Chisholm, Brunswick County Sheriff's Office, SPI Chris Brenzel, District Attorney John David, Chief Morris with the Oak Island Police Department, and Jenna Early, the first assistant with the District Attorney's Office. They're behind me today to try to be here to answer any questions when I have to talk this through this morning. So I want to start off on Saturday, December 27th, 2025 at approximately 9:30. Members of the Southport Police Department were dispatched to calls of shots fired with multiple injuries at the American Fish Company at 150 Yacht Basin Drive here in Southport. Reports came in rapidly of a boat sitting in the waterway, reports of a subject shooting multiple patrons of the establishment. Unfortunately, 3 were wounded fatally. We have 5 injured that are at area hospitals still receiving care. The boat fled the ICW toward the Oak Island Bridge. Shortly after 10 p.m., the Coast Guard observed a single individual matching the description of the shooter, loading their boat at a public boat ramp in the area of Northeast 55th Street on Oak Island. Coast Guard crews detained the suspect, who was held at the Oak Island Police Department before being turned over to several members there, including the Southport Police Department, Brunswick County Sheriff's Office, Marine Fisheries. Suspect is a Nile Max Edge. He's been arrested and charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder, 5 counts of attempted first-degree murder, and 5 counts of assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill, inflicting serious injury. There are additional charges pending. This is still a very active investigation. But there's a couple of things that I want to point out to you today before I turn it over to some of these individuals behind me. Some facts that we have at this time is that we believe that this was a targeted location. We appear that he acted in what we call a lone wolf. He acted alone. This is highly premeditated from what we're seeing at this time. And we feel there are no other threats to our community, that we do have someone in custody. So that's what's important, that I want the community to know, that we do have someone in custody and we feel like we have no other threats this time. Still a very active investigation. I want to point that out. We're asking that anyone who was at the establishment last night, those who may have been at the establishment on Friday night, to call our office, the Southport Police Department, at 910-457-7911. Again, when we arrived last night, it was a very chaotic scene. We had people that had fled the scene before officers were arriving. We did have some injured that walked into our local hospital here on Howe Street. So we are still trying to get these folks in. We need to talk with them. Anyone who may have video of the incident, we're asking you to reach out to our police department. Again, call us at 910-457-7911. We understand this suspect identifies as a combat veteran. He self-identifies. Injured in the line of duty is what he's saying. He suffers from PTSD. We want to point those facts out. But again, the bottom line is that I want to assure our community that we feel like we do have our suspect in custody. And again, we're asking for your assistance. So those are 2 of the things I want to make sure and reiterate before I turn the microphone over to Sheriff Chisholm, to please call our office if you have any videos, or if you were there last night and we have not talked to you. We've been talking to multiple people. Again, we've had an outpouring of support from multiple agencies. Some 60 to 80 officers were here last night helping us, and we have still a lot of folks here that are continuing with its investigation. So at this time, I'll turn the mic over to Sheriff Chisholm.
Good morning. As Chief Cord mentioned, our hearts and prayers and thoughts go out to the family of the victims of this tragic incident. We stand with Southport PD. This is the place that I grew up. So it's a place that I hold near and dear to my heart, like many people in this room. And I want all of you in this room, I challenge you, do not let this define Southport.
Oak Island PD, everybody that came and responded and came together to get this guy in custody so quickly. I am very proud of them, and my heart goes out to them because they were here, they had to see this. Just know that we have all of our resources and they're available to Southport PD. And I just want to thank, again, all the partners that were there last night and the ones that are here today, and for the quick response and just the quick end to this tragedy. Thank you.
Charlie Morris, the Oak Island Police Department. Thank you, Sheriff. Just to reiterate a couple things that the Sheriff and Chief Coring said, we have a close-knit community here. I certainly do not want this incident to define who we are, because that is not us. This is a person that has acted alone. We feel confident right now, even though we're in the preliminary stages of the investigation, we feel like that this person acted alone and there's no one else involved. Last night, our witnesses that were on the scene observed a white center console boat travel south or southwest, leaving the area. Our Coast Guard partners were patrolling along with our sheriff's office and encountered a boat down at the 55th Street boat access in Oak Island. The officers got out and made contact with Mr. Edge, and as a result of that, during the investigation, he was detained and taken into custody. Another thing that I would like to reiterate is, yes, Nigel Edge is a resident of Oak Island. We are familiar with him at the police department. So I want to acknowledge that as well. So I don't think I have anything else, but God bless our victims. God bless our community. And we wish our victims that are suffered the injuries a speedy recovery.
Good morning, Chris Brunzel, Special Agent in charge with the State Bureau of Investigation. I don't think it can be said enough, and I join our partners in offering our prayers to the families of the victims who were murdered and injured last night during these tragic events that happened at Southport. I want to thank the men standing behind me and all of our local, state, federal, and every other partner that we have, U.S. Coast Guard that responded last night. Without these partnerships, we would not be able to stand in front of you to announce the arrest of this individual today. I also want to commend the men and women from all over the county and all over the state that responded to this incident last night. It's through their hard work that we were able to make this happen. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is District Attorney John David. Evil has come ashore in Southport, North Carolina. Ironically enough, at the very place which once served as a backdrop to the movie Safe Haven. And that name is symbolic of the way in which the people in our community view this area. The thin veneer of peace and tranquility which has enveloped this idyllic waterfront community was shattered last night by gunfire that came from the water. When the dust settled, 8 people were shot, 3 of them are dead, and at least 1 is now clinging for their life. I want to tell you that the group of people that stand behind me now awoke this morning with a firm resolve to seek maximum justice in this case. I will tell you that The men and women of law enforcement worked quickly and in team-like fashion to give us the tools that we need to be effective in a courtroom. And that process will begin literally tomorrow with the first appearance of Nigel Edge. Now, there's a lot that prosecutors under the rules of North Carolina's professional rules are not permitted to say. We can talk a lot more about process than we can about facts. But you know something about the core nucleus of operative facts. I want to tell you a little bit about what the road ahead looks like. But before I do that, let me say first and foremost.
All right, folks, you know, we got another emergency situation. Stay on. We're going to transfer over to Michigan. We got a major situation going on in Michigan. I'm sorry, but we have to get to Michigan right now. There's something big happening right now in Michigan. So stay on. We're going to transfer over and we're going to discuss. Crazy.